In the late 19th century, Chicago was a city of opportunity. Millions of people arrived hoping for a better life. But behind one ordinary-looking building stood one of the most disturbing figures in American history. This is not fiction. This is not a legend. This is the true story of H. Holmes and the building later known as Murder Castle. H. Holmes was born in 1861 as Herman Webster Mudgett in New Hampshire. He was intelligent, well-spoken, and studied medicine. This gave him deep knowledge of chemistry, anatomy, and human behavior. In the 1880s, he moved to Chicago and changed his name to Henry Howard Holmes. To the public, he appeared charming and trustworthy. Behind the scenes, he was deeply involved in fraud, deception, and manipulation. In 1887, Holmes began constructing a large building near Chicago's busy streets. He constantly fired and replaced workers, ensuring no one understood the full design. The building had rooms with no windows, staircases that led nowhere, doors that locked only from the outside. To outsiders, it looked like a normal hotel. In reality, it was carefully designed to confuse and isolate. As the building became operational, Holmes began renting rooms to tenants and visitors. Most guests were young women who had recently arrived in Chicago. Many were alone and familiar with the city, and trusted Holmes completely. Several of them were last seen entering the building. They were never officially reported missing at the time. In the late 1800s, Chicago was a city in constant motion. People frequently changed jobs, names, and locations. There were no centralized records, no instant communication, and little coordination between police departments. When someone disappeared, it was often assumed they had simply moved on. This environment allowed Holmes to operate unnoticed for years. Julia Smythe worked in one of the shops owned by Holmes. After her husband disappeared, she remained close to Holmes. Later in 1891, Julia herself vanished. Holmes claimed she had traveled to California. No evidence ever confirmed this. Emmeline Sigran was a young employee at the building. She was last seen entering Holmes's office in 1892. Her family later reported her missing, but by then, Holmes had already left the area. Minnie Williams was connected to Holmes through business dealings 1893. She traveled with him and was last seen near the time of the World's Fair. Holmes later claimed she inherited property and documents that investigators later proved were falsified. In 1893, Chicago hosted the World's Columbian Exposition. Millions of visitors flooded the city. Holmes advertised rooms in his building, offering cheap and convenient lodging. People checked in. Some of them were never seen again. Despite rumors and quiet suspicion, Holmes continued operating freely. He attended social events. He ran businesses. He appeared respectable and calm. To neighbors and officials, he seemed like an ambitious businessman, nothing more. But this illusion would not last. Holmes's downfall did not begin with murder charges. It began with something far more ordinary: money, fraud, false identities, and insurance schemes. And once authorities began looking closely, everything else began to unravel. What they found shocked the city. Hidden rooms, locked chambers, and unusual architectural features designed to trap occupants. The press soon named the building the Murder Castle. In 1895, Holmes was put on trial. He confessed to multiple crimes, though the exact number remains unknown. In 1896, H. Holmes was executed by hanging. His case became one of the earliest and most infamous true crime stories in American history.